Alright, so turbo. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be going over my intakes that I build out of exhaust pipe. So my neighbor's the one who turned me on to this. You get the over the axle pieces and you cut them all up and use the radiuses, bends, and angles inside of them to create the intercooler line. So I bought 3-inch exhaust, 3.25, something like that. And I use it to go from here to the turbo. But this old turbo is a piece of junk. It's a factory. So I took this piece of junk and I bought this nicer one. It's a Borg Warner 6165, much bigger, fancier, and sexy. And it has a welded on elbow right from the turbo place, which helps me to clear the frame and the A-arms and all that sort of stuff. So once you have a big sexy turbo, you got to take care of it. So it spins. I just love how it's so much prettier looking turbo. I really liked it. So that makes a spoolie sound, so I'm happy. So I built my first one out of the exhaust pipes. You can kind of see here it basically comes around and straight on into the turbo's 90, right on in. Looked really good. I left a little gap between the turbo and between the intercooler. No, these are not the boots that I use. They were just like $5 on Amazon. I need something to hold stuff in place. I ran it with them for a minute or two. It was kind of sexy. I also got super excited because Banks intake showed up today from the power-driven diesel. You can see there, I got it all in nice and looking, and I was so excited. I was working on all this, but I had to make sure the tires cleared. The last thing I want to do is have a really cool intake and then smash it with my tire when I'm flying down the road and dent it all up. So you can see I have a 225 55 18 tire, but you can tell there's plenty of gap in there. Even if I hit a big bump, the odds of me running into this, I haven't done it yet, and I took it on a pretty good road trip now, so I think I'm pretty solid with it. I like how it looks. I like how it flows. I think she's going to work just fine. So, like I said, that intake showed up from power-driven diesel through Banks twin ram intake. And, you talk about the flow, and the Banks guy tries to sell you on cylinder 1 and 6 run colder and blah, blah, blah. This is the heaters, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, nobody really cares about the technical stuff. I mean, it's good that it probably does whatever, but just look at it. That is sexy. Like, if I had to name a car part sexy, that's sexy. So I just got to build the pipe now between the intercooler and the intake, which is why I had to buy the intake before I built the line, because it would be a completely different line running to the old thing. And my exhaust pipe showed up, so in the middle of doing my intake, I started my exhaust, which is, intake, exhaust, turbo, all that ties together, so here you go. It does not fit in my car. For some reason, it was designed for, a 97, 98 Dodge truck. And, well, I got to pie cut it, which messes with one angle, messes with the other. Got to fix those. So I got going on all this, and I'm explaining it to my family in these videos. And I turned around, and I see my son playing the elephant. And I was like, dude, take it down. And he grew a mustache over moments. But he doesn't care because he's a boy and having fun yelling in an exhaust pipe. So anyways, I got my pie-like cuts in this, and I marked it all out, built a little template so I knew that I had the right angles that I was hoping to achieve, and all kinds of smart stuff, and thinking I was cool. And I cut it, and I welded it, and I held it up here like this in a horrible video of me holding a pipe up. Ooh, look, ground, exhaust, and it clears the firewall. That's the important part, right? So it all clears, but when I ordered clamps, these ones, the V-bands, I was like, yeah, 4-inch clamps. They showed up, they say 4-inch, but they're 5-inch, so stupid. Got the right ones. They fit. I had to cut it a couple more times because, when you tighten up the V-bands, it actually squares up everything. And anyway, underneath, starting to look good. I had to do a few pie cuts down here. Nothing's dragging. You can see the pipe coming out, and a ginormous 4-inch exhaust on a little old car goes through that hole. So let me show you the James Bond moment. Dun, 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 dun. Da-da. Uh-oh. Hiding, and come on. Shoot him, James. Boom. You're dead. So anyways, yeah, so the exhaust will go right through that transmission mount hole that I built, and I get super excited, but no one cares. Exhaust will get done once the body's off. So back to the intake. You can see this is the driver's side. It was much more complicated. It had a couple more welds in it. I held it up to the car and I hosed it onto one side and would build a piece and tack it and tack it and tack it. You can see my 3 gross welds, but I didn't want to grind anything because I want to make sure whatever's there is there, and it turned out pretty sexy. Look at that sleekness down to the hidden weld under the frame there, or the fender, and back there all hidden. Ooh, look at that. Everything kind of hides. Turned out pretty good. Super excited with how these came out. I highly recommend buying exhaust pipe to build your intake line, because why not? It's simple, it's cheap, it's metal. Yeah, it's probably not race car ready, but hey, look at my garbage welds. Alright, so now we better stop looking at this garbage welding of mine. And you can make fun of it all you want, but if you look at my turbo, I'm super proud I got that in today. Woohoo! All the fun sounds I make imitating a turbo. Yes, my exhaust has cleared the firewall. My intake is made of exhaust, which also clears and goes right up to my intercooler. And it also clears the tire. I really liked how this all came together. I think it turned out clean. What do you guys think? Is exhaust pipe a safe intake pipe? I guess it's all pipe. And all these welds are nicely buried out of sight, out of mind. So no grinder and paint for the stuff that I don't care about. I'm hoping they don't leak. I never pressure checked them. I didn't do any of that. Go ahead and comment and see if you think I'm an idiot. But that's okay. I'll just laugh at you and with me. I love how this twin ram intake came out. I know it's much better than this factory piece of junk right there. So comment all you want. Tell me what you love. Thank you for watching.